Okay, I'd like to talk about the movie today, Gone with the Wind, and Gone with the Windmill, I'm sorry. And the basic idea is that all these different rock stars like Robert Plant, Alice Cooper, Roger Daltrey, Pete Townsend, Ozzy Osbourne, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, all these guys talking about, man, you know, it's like they want to find a band that's going to really spread rock and roll peace and love to the world, but they're trying to find bands, but they all seem to be selling out in different ways, like corporate sellouts. They're just trying to sell products, or they're just trying to get famous. They're trying to find bands that are really, it's all about the music, but also spreading peace and love to the world, but not trying to return to the 60s, because we can't do that, but to still retain musical integrity and yet have an artistic message of love to the world. So we're not trying to bring back the 60s, but we're trying to bring the force that people like John Lennon and others like him, including Paul McCartney, were to spread peace to the world, and they are doing it in their own way, even though John's up in rock and roll heaven. So the idea is all these guys are sitting around a room, and I, Diamond, I'm not some rock star, but I somehow make it on this room, because who knows what, I sent an email to Alice Cooper or something. I don't know, but I'm in the room and I say, hey you guys, why don't we start a band? So the idea is I start the script with, frankly, Alice, we should start a band. Instead of moaning about it, let's do something about it. And so Alice says, I wish I'd thought of that. And then there's a dialogue, and then, like I said before, I think it's maybe Pete Townsend says, I know, we should start a band called The What? Because, and then The What? It's like, what the heck, it's not The Who. We can't have The Who again, you know, because, you know, it won't work. So he says, let's call it The What? And then somebody like Robert Plant says, The What? What kind of blooming name is that? And then Ozzy Osbourne says, well, it's better than Led Zeppelin, mate. What kind of blooming name is that? And then Robert says back to Ozzy, well, better than Black Sabbath. And then they start back and forth. So then the idea is that eventually it's called The Windmill. Maybe Pete Townsend or Roger Daltrey says, let's call it The Windmill, like the old rock and roll windmill. That, to me, epitomizes the spirit of rock and roll. Rock and roll is not about selling products, or product placement, or corporate identity, or the slick image of, let's do this. That's not what rock and roll is about. It's about freedom, joy, peace, love, rebellion against the authorities. It's not about cooperating with the authorities or the politicians, you know, to kind of indirectly quote Alice Cooper. So that's the idea of the movie. So there's this band called The Windmill, and I don't know who's in it yet. Maybe they're all in it. Maybe The Windmill has a revolving door of musicians, just like Mystery has. Mystery has a lot of musicians coming and going. So The Windmill could start with, say, Alice Cooper on lead vocals, shared with Robert Plant. You could have Neil Peart on drums, Geddy Lee on bass. On lead guitar, you could have Jimmy Page and maybe Alex Lifeson as well. On drums, you could also have, I don't know who else you'd have on drums, but, and on keyboard player, you could have, Richard Wright has gone to rock and roll heaven. And so, some cool keyboard player, the guy with Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Oh, Star on keyboards, my wife. I don't know what I could do. I could be a guest vocalist well sometimes, and guitar and stuff like that. So The Windmill could be this band, this mysterious band. It's sort of like Tom Petty's band with Bob Dylan and you know, George Harrison and Roy Orbison. Except they didn't have that many revolving doors. So The Windmill could be like a rotating door of rock stars. And Stevie Nicks should be in there too. I definitely think that. Stevie Nicks could be in The Windmill. You never know what you're going to get. It's like life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, right? To quote Tom Hanks. You never know what you're going to get with The Windmill, the movie. So there's an absurd idea that I came up with, which Star, my lovebird wife, and now Phil Beard, also known as Lionheart, we're going to do this movie, and we need funding. We need millions of dollars. Millions of dollars cold hard. 2 million?
20.
20 million? 20 million bucks?
20,000.
20,000 bucks. Oh yeah, we need 20,000 bucks. All right, 20,000. That's less than $1 million, but it doesn't matter. 20 grand would do it for the movie, because they did the Blair Witch Project for cheaper than that.
So what we've done is we've done a business plan, and we've calculated how much money we need
And we've really been very conservative in our request of $25,000. Ideally, we probably could use $50,000, but we're going with 25. So if you could help us in any way, help out the arts with these great projects, we would love to really touch the world with this message and really reach the youth, inspiring them to just be the best musicians and artists they can. Thank you.
And now, don't end there yet now. Now this here is sort of a, I call this my prophetic scope. So I'm looking into the future in this way, and I can see in this movie, it's not just about the Windmill members. It's not about current musicians who are already established and well-known, like Stevie Nicks or Supertramp, Roger Hodgson. All these guys are great, and we want them to be part of the Windmill, but it's mainly about getting a new generation of young people who are like whatever, 10 years old, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The young kids, girls and guys, and we've seen amazing talent right here in Chatham, Ontario. I'm telling you, I'm not making it up. We've had girls singing, no guys yet, but I'm sure they're coming too, who are phenomenal singers and great songwriters. So that, I think, is what we want to really inspire. It's not just to hopefully make some money with this movie, but also to stimulate artistic integrity and growth around the planet, starting here in Canada and obviously in the USA, because we love the USA too, and my parents, grandparents are from the USA. And on to Star.
Because really, this movie, Gone with the Windmill, it's really to generate funds for what our real mission is, and that is to reach the youth. Like this store, Mystical Rose here, we've opened it up to teenagers and anybody who's got some sort of talent, whether it be poetry or music, and we've already been gathering groups of people in who are encouraging one another. It gets them off the street, it gives them something to do, and also we don't have it very often, so it's like every 3 or 4 months. So it gives them time to work at home on their project and have a venue, a place to share their gifts and talents with one another, encourage one another, and maybe even collaborate together in some way. So really, that's what we like to see, just in this little small place here, Mystical Rose. If this could just be an example of something that could go out on a bigger scale, that would be great. But this is just basically the seed of what we're starting with this vision. So if you want to jump on board with us, we really appreciate it. Any help you can get. We're not just money. If you have some ideas or some way that you could strengthen this vision with us, we welcome all kinds of ideas.
It's my turn now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right, this sounds like a promo for our store. It's not meant to be a promo for our store, but check this out. This is the Silver Globe of Mystery, and we use it in we did a photo shoot with Tom Hawkins. He's based out of New York and Vancouver, but it's the Silver Globe of Mystery. But to me, it represents the world, right? We're concerned not just with our own city, not just with Canada, not just with North America, but all the planet. We want everyone to love Gone with the Windmill, and we can have it in different languages or something. I don't know, Phil will take care of that. But it's like about love, right? It's about rock and roll, the true spirit of rock and roll.
The universal language of love.
The universal language of love.
Yeah.
Peace and love, as Ringo says, you know. And we've got some songs. I wrote a song today. I might show that later, but it's called I Heart You. And instead of I hate you, I heart you. I love you. And so I can't remember how it goes, but anyways, I'll share that another day. But that's the Silver Globe of Mystery. And I don't think we'd have much more to say. No, but I'd like to thank our cameraman, Lionheart. We'd like to thank our sponsors. We don't have any sponsors.
That's okay. I'll sponsor you.
Okay, you sponsor me, I'll sponsor you.
Thank you.
Gone with you. Gone again. I'm gone, gone, gone. Gone again. Gone with the windmill. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gone with the windmill.
Hey Pete, I want my nickel back.
I want my nickel back. There's your nickel back, but it's not a nickel. It's a $5 coin. Silver, silver. It's worth $40, so you can't have it back. Thank you very much.